Hello and welcome to the finale of 1984 Lockdown. I am here with the final two, Caleb and Zach. Recently, Zach won the final head of house competition and chose to evict Beth, leaving himself and Caleb. So as final HOH, Zach has um, has chosen to go second in opening statements, which means he will go first in the closing statements. They will each get 7 minutes for their opening statements, and then each juror will be allotted 7 minutes as well, and then they will each get 2 minutes for their closing statements. I will either put in the chat or say out loud when like the 1 minute mark is there, so that you know to wrap it up. So yeah, I'm gonna give it just a second to make sure that the jurors hopefully have that Zoom or that YouTube link, and then we'll get started. Give me just a second.
I should have worn a polo.
Yeah, I had to look nice tonight.
Okay. Okay, are you both ready? Okay. Caleb, your 7 minutes will start when you begin talking.
Okay, so I guess I just want to start by saying thank you to Michael and everybody on the production team for putting this on. It has been a wonderful season. As a Big Brother and super fan, this has been honestly like a roller coaster. It has been so fun. To my game, I know where I'm sitting. I know who I am, and I know exactly what my skills are. And coming into this game, I know exactly what my skills are. And my skills are talking and not competitions. I knew I was going to win nothing. That was not my fault that I lost so many times, I guess. But, you know, I tried my hardest. I just knew I was not going to win a lot of competitions. I apologize for the sirens. Really, at the beginning, I did not know anybody. And so I came in and I tried to make as many connections as I could. And I made some really strong connections with like Austin, Zach. I mistakenly made connections with Dylan early on and Constance early on, Brian early on. My game was socially, I knew I was not going to win anything. So the right people had to win the right competitions for me. This entire game, I kind of knew what was going on just due to hearing the downfall of what all the alliances were saying. Really early on, I made too many promises to too many people that I would keep them. And so I could not win HOH because if I did, I would have to show my cards until the Rachel vote. First off, Rachel is a wonderful person. I just could not keep her in this game. There was an alliance of me, Austin, Brian, and Constance that basically pushed Beth to vote Rachel out. It was our idea. We were behind her 100%. And when the flip happened, it changed the game dramatically. I think it bettered both of the final two's game, really. We're here because of it. I think really the darkest point of my game was Madison nominating me because really losing Constance and Austin as my finals 2 and 3 was horrible for my game. Really, I was like a dead body being dragged to the end at that point. Like I knew I wasn't going to win anything. I knew my skills and I had a good connection with everybody in the game. And so I just had to hope for the best week by week. I had a falling out with Brian before he left, but him and I were a ride or die the entire game. We worked back and forth and we told each other everything. I really think the best move in my game was evicting Rachel early on. And I know I could have been here. I was very busy throughout this season and I made sure it was okay with Michael early on that I was busy. But when I was here, I played and I put my whole heart and soul into this game. So I'm really not going to be upset. Whatever happens. I'm so thankful. And it's been an honor. I really can't say anything negatively about Zach. It's been a blast. So thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. Okay, Zach, your time will start when you start talking.
Coming into this game, I had the goal to do well and the expectation that I wouldn't do so well. But right away, I started playing hard to make sure that my goal became a reality. I created an alliance day one with myself, Rachel, Brian, and Lee. in this alliance, I felt like I was closest to all of them, so they would keep me over the other people. With that alliance, I had connections with people like Caleb, Beth, Thomas, Madison, Julia that I was talking to all that first week. And those connections were really important for me to make that first week to have going long way into the full game. Right away, it was shown that it was going to be a hard game for me when Marvin called out me and Rachel for being a tight pair, that I would never vote her out. And that became a narrative throughout the entire pre-jury. Week 2, I was nominated for it, and I won the power of veto to save myself from the block. Had I not, I think I really would have gone home that week. Week 3, Rachel wins HOH and nominates Dylan, who was one of the people who was spreading that narrative, and Austin, the person who nominated me. So I was pretty good. But once again, my alliances were called out, namely me, Brian, and Rachel as a tight trio. And we were a tight trio. That was the tight trio that I wanted to go to the final 3 with. It truly was. But we were called out, and that put a lot of targets on us, but mainly on Rachel and Brian. I was with them because I knew that they would be targeted before I would ever be targeted. And it was good for me to stick with them and just let them carry me through. I made a new alliance after that with myself, Rachel, Brian, and Thomas, which became the new 4, and we were the besties. Once Lee had kind of told our alliance to everyone, he was no more. Thomas won HOH and Lee was gone. Week 5, Brian wins HOH. I'm good. Nothing to say there. I'm very close with Brian, so I should be good, and I was. And then week 6, Beth wins HOH. Another good HOH for me because I had talked to Beth, and there was no way she was going to nominate me. And if she nominated anyone in my alliance, it was going to be Rachel. And that's exactly what happened. Rachel was nominated that week, and she went home in a 4-4 tie vote. So this was the turning point for my game here, because not only did I lose Rachel at that vote, but I lost Brian. And that was, I had just completely lost all my allies in the game because Brian had lied to me for an entire round because that he was going to keep Rachel, but then didn't. So at that point, I knew, nope, I'm not with either of them. I'm not with Brian anymore. And I don't really know if I can be with Thomas anymore because of that. So, and that night, on the circle night, when myself, Julia, and Madison were voted out subsequently in the competition, a new alliance was born. Fuck these bitches. Fuck these bitches, ran from the bottom, and we did what we had to stay safe in this game. At that point, after circle night, those 2 girls were my ride or dies till the end of this game. And I completely mean that. But I had to look out for myself still. And despite them being my alliance, I had to make sure that if anyone else won HOH, they would be targeted before me. But first, Julia, I was on the block next to Madison that week, and Julia saved Madison from the block. And I stayed next to Jacob in a 6-1 vote based on all the relationships I had already made. Despite me and Brian and Thomas all having a public call out the week before, they still wanted to keep me. And that's because I made myself out to be a bigger threat than I was. And they would always want to keep someone who is going to be a target in front of them. So that's why Brian wanted to keep me. And I had 4 votes locked right away. And I stayed, got locked down. Austin, the only person to vote to evict me, won HOH. And I was good. And Austin went and made an ass of himself, made a huge target of him. And that was great for me, Julia, and Madison, because it was just another person in front of us. Constance went that week. Great for me. I didn't talk to Constance very much at all. I knew he was never going to work with me. Next week, Madison wins the double. I'm good. Madison's in my final 3 alliance, and I was good. I didn't get nominated. Now, final 7, Thomas wins HOH. Between Thomas and Brian, I felt the closest with Thomas, but I knew that in the situation I was in right there at the final 7, where I was in between 3 groups, basically, of Julia, Madison, Brian, Thomas, and Beth and Caleb, I knew that I was going to be in danger that week. And I was able to talk myself out of the back door and flip the vote to keep Julia, who I was closer to than Madison at that time. The next week, Brian and Thomas were nominated, and I had to evict Thomas because he was going to nominate myself and Julia the next week, whereas Brian told me he would keep me safe. It may seem like a dumb move because Brian was a comp threat, but I knew that I could beat him in competitions later down the line. And that's what I did when I stood with a spoon in my mouth for 5 hours and 44 minutes to make sure that Brian would go home. I didn't nominate him at first because I wanted to stay true to it in case he won veto. But when I won the veto and had all the power that week, I was free to make the move and take out the biggest threat of this game. And that's what I did. Moving on to the final four, Beth wins the HOH, and I'm nominated against Julia, my closest ally in my final two. But I had a strong connection with Caleb from the beginning of this game that would have kept me safe regardless of who won the veto. And that's what happened. I won. I didn't win. I lost, but I stayed. And I made it to the final three in a situation with Beth and Caleb, my ideal final three, because I felt that was my best chance at winning that final three HOH and sitting here today. And now here I am sitting here today, telling you my whole game, from call outs week one to circle night birthday parties to playing the middle, maybe being a little bit of a rat, but winning the competitions that I needed to. And I'm sitting here today. So thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, so Constance is not around and did not send any questions, but he did send in a vote. Austin is unable to get on the call, but he did send the question. So how this will work is I'm going to give you each 3.5 minutes to answer his question. We'll just go alphabetical order. So Caleb, you'll go first. So this is Austin's question. He says, give me a reason why your opponent should win and not you. Caleb, your 3.5 minutes starts when you start talking.
So, okay, this is actually a really good question. First off, I love Austin very much. He was my ride or die in this game. I truly think that Zach and I played on literally opposite ends of this game the entire time. Him and I were connected throughout. We did have a line of communication open at all times. He can even attest to that we talked throughout this entire game. I knew exactly what he was thinking, and I knew he knew exactly what I was thinking. And I really think he deserves to win because I felt as though I had to play from the bottom. He kind of had to play from the top. He had people in his corner already from the beginning, but I mean, they were targets. So he really overcame adversity with that. But we played different games. I played from the bottom. He played from the top. And I think that's why he deserves to win.
Okay, Zach, same question to you. Your time will start when you start talking.
I think Caleb could deserve a vote to win because of how he was able to just make himself not be a threat at all, so that the point he would never get targeted. And in Big Brother, you never want to get targeted. If he was on the block, no one would ever want to evict him, and that's pretty good strategy. So whether it be strategy or he was always there and always a target of people, but no one ever wanted to do it because they didn't want to waste a week on Caleb. But if it becomes a waste of a week, if he keeps going, and he made it all the way here, despite the odds against him, playing his first game, he played a loyal game, he played a truthful game, and for that reason, I think he is deserving of a vote. And he only received 1 vote this whole season, so very good, I think.
Okay. Give me just a second and I will get Madison on here.
When are we going to tell people we're a showman?
Maybe.
Might be a second, but we're getting there. Shout out to anybody who is watching. Let me see how many viewers we have. We have
Shout out
15 viewers right now.
Shout out to Blake Murphy, Snake Murphy. Love you very much.
Okay, here is Madison.
Hello.
Hello, Madison. Your 7 minutes will start when you start talking.
I'm so excited to see you both. This is such a cute final two. I love y'all both with my whole heart on a personal level. I wish I had sassy things to say, but honestly, I just really do love both of you. And so I am just going to ask both of you kind of the same question. So I feel like every winning game has kind of like a like defining moment that is, or at least like the moment that the person winning defines as their winning moment. So I would love to hear like your kind of like top 3 highlight reel moments from your game, and with number 1 being your kind of like defining winning moment and the moment that you will like be the most proud of, would you like, were you to win this game? And then I would also like to hear one thing that you would change if you could, if you have anything that you would go back and change. That's my question. Whoever would like to go first.
I can go first here. So my top 3 moments of why I like my top 3 moments in the game, I'd say, definitely number 1 would be winning the HOH and veto week 5 and having all the power that week to do what I wanted. And in that moment, I took out Brian, who I perceived as the biggest threat to win the game. So that was definitely like my moment of like my winning moment for me. After that, I would say it was winning the final 3 HOH tonight, because I was able to beat out Beth, who had won the most competitions all season in 2 different comps. I mean, she won the first one, but I was able to beat her in that and then take the shot at her, taking out another big threat. And then my last moment would be my birthday party, where I just kind of let the house have it with you by my side. And it was a really fun moment, and one that I definitely look back on a lot because it's really fun and entertaining to watch. But I think that was a really pivotal moment for my game, where I came out of my shell more and really embraced the kind of game I was playing. And that was a more loud and a more powerful kind of game. Like, I wasn't sitting back and watching. I knew everything that was happening, but I was keeping shut. And then once everything came out, people didn't really want to hear it anymore. So that was definitely why those were definitely like my top 3 moments. And something I would change, I don't really think I would change anything about my game. I think I played a really great game. I made it to here with only 1 vote to evict. I was nominated 2 times in the pre-jury, but I saved myself with the veto, and the other time it was pretty convincing for me to stay. And then on the other time I was nominated was at the final 4. And at that point, I didn't even need to win the power of veto to save myself because I had Caleb to do it. So I think I would not change a single thing about my game. Thank you.
Period. I love you, Zach. All right, Caleb, go for it.
So I guess my 3 like defining moments in my game kind of go in chronological order. I did not win competition, so I did not have a flashy game to sit at the end with a resume with. Really, my first big move, my first like shuffling in the game was when Dylan called me out after his HOH. It really put a target on my back from the beginning. Nobody knew who I was coming into this game. And so the idea that I was a liar was stuck on me right away. So I really had to use my social connections. And I consciously took a step back, and I was like, I need to not be a threat. I need to lay low. I need to distance myself. I distanced myself from Dylan, Constance, and all of the drama. Then the Lee drama happened. It kind of took away from that. My second defining move was really the Rachel flip. A lot went into that flip. We were on 2 sides of the coin on that night, but a lot of work and a lot of silence and a lot of lying went into that night. And the alliance that stuck to it was me, Austin, Constance, and Brian. And I really think I was the glue for that alliance. I held us together and I pushed through and I made sure that Rachel went home. I can't say I forced Beth to put Rachel on the block, but I was a pivotal part in doing that, in being close to Beth and having that alliance. And then my last move was after you had nominated me and backdoored Austin and sent me home. Really, I knew my game. I knew my game was going to be different from then. I knew I had to pivot and really refocus. And so I got closer again with Zach and Julia, and I made sure that Beth was always on my side because I knew that these people were better at competitions than I was. So moving into the end, I would have to make sure that people who were there wanted to keep me. And I guess the final third one was voting out Julia, really, because I knew Julia wouldn't take me here. I knew no matter what, Beth and Zach would take me to the final 2, but I did not think Julia would. I think Julia would have taken Beth. So I know everybody didn't like it as a choice, but I think Julia going home helped me. To change my game, I think I would have won a fucking competition. something, give me something, you know, like, please, right? Like, I tried so hard in some of these competitions and I gave it my all. When I was here, I fought. And so I really tried my hardest, and like everything landed how it landed, but I wish I could win something. That's about it.
Iconic. Okay, well, I just want to say one more time, I'm so proud of both of you. You both played a wonderful game, and you should both be so proud of yourselves. I love you, and congratulations to whoever wins, and I love you both. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Madison. Our next juror will be joining us shortly.
They're shooting fireworks off in my neighborhood. I
Not
apologize.
that.
Like, literally right now. Come on.
They're celebrating the final two of 1984. Come on.
Oh my gosh, congrats.
They-
Thanks,
they knew.
guys. Stop. Stop. No
Okay,
paparazzi.
Here is our next juror. Hello, Thomas. Your 7 minutes will start when you start talking.
Hello, what's up, guys? It's been a minute. First of all, I want to say congrats to you both. I think, as you guys have said, that you played totally different, opposite ends of the spectrum. One, piecing it out in the end, and one very social and kind of everywhere. My questions for the both of you are kind of the same. So my first question would be like, if you could choose anyone else to be in those final two seats, like any other juror, like who would you choose and why? I'll start with that question just so it doesn't get kind of confusing. So whoever wants to start, you can go with that.
To sit next to, or like two different jurors?
Just like if you had to pick like one other person to sit next to you.
Mine would be Julia. I've said this, I think. After Circle Night, we became really close, and that's when our final two was born. And I was really genuine on taking her to the end. I know she wasn't genuine in taking me to the end, but I was with her, and I would have loved to sit in the end with her.
My answer is Austin. Like, honestly, Austin was my ride or die this entire time. Like, I loved him. We talked every day. And if he was sitting here, I think I would have a really good chance to beat him. But he is and always will be the best person in this cast. I love him so much.
Well, noted in my vote. No, I'm just kidding. And also my other question is probably kind of a repeat, honestly. I'm the fourth person to go. So I just want to know your biggest game move and how did it help you get to the end? Because I know, especially from you, Caleb, like you didn't win any competition. So I would just like to know what you thought what your biggest game move was. I feel like I already know what you both are going to say. If it's about like, yeah, anyways, I'll let you guys answer that. But
I can go first in this one. So Thomas, really, you and I were in the same camp. I think we played the exact same game. Socially, you were more social and more strong in competition. I think my best move this season was after being nominated, I shifted and I made a final three alliance with Zach and Julia. And even if that was a fake alliance, I knew that they had some trust in me. I made sure that they had my back moving forward because I knew that I would have to shift my game after losing my two closest allies. I knew Brian didn't want to work with me anymore. And I knew that he would drag me to the end and beat me because he was going to win everything. So my biggest move was getting in after the Rachel vote, of course, but after that, moving in with Julia and Zach. I really think that that helped me and they kind of carried me to the end, truly. And they were bigger threats than me, so.
For me, I definitely say my biggest move was actually happened tonight by taking Beth out in the final HOH. I think that was my last obstacle in getting here and winning this game. And I feel if Beth won, she gets rid of me. But if I'm sitting next to Beth too, I think Beth beats me just based on she had better connections than I did. She made no enemies. No one was upset with how Beth played. So Beth, if she made it to the end, I believe was going to win. And I definitely would have voted for her in that case too. So taking out Beth, who had won the most competitions, had made no enemies, and played a really great game was definitely my biggest game move.
all right. good luck to you both, like I said. And can I just say, the jealousy in this house was disgusting. Me, the most nominated person of the season. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Good luck to you
Literally.
both. Yeah, literally. Anyways, good luck to you both. Yeah,
Bye, Thomas.
peace out.
Bye, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas. Here is our next juror.
Hello.
Hello, Brian. Your 7 minutes starts when you start talking.
Okay. All right. So congratulations to the final two. Props on you guys for making it here. Zach, I truly thought that you made the wrong choice when you by backdooring me at final 5. But like I said, I hope you proved me wrong, and you definitely did do that. I did not realize that you had Caleb in your back pocket, willing to keep you in at 4. So props to you for that. So my first question is for Caleb. You were mad at me, like the most mad I've ever seen you the whole game, for campaigning the way I did at the final 6 vote, which if I wouldn't have done, I would not have stayed. You called me a snake and told me you have no respect for me. And I'm glad to say the feeling is mutual. I don't have much respect for your game at all. You felt betrayed because I was your day one. But meanwhile, you proceeded to say tonight that you had multiple day ones in Austin, Zach, Beth, and Constance as well. So I found that to be very hypocritical. So I don't really have a question for you, but I will give you the opportunity to tell me why I'm wrong and why I should vote for you to win.
That's fair. I totally understand why you're upset. And I guess really in this game, I was loyal to you, Constance, and Austin. Like throughout the entire game from the beginning, I was loyal to that 4. And that 4, if we could have, we would have wrote it to the end. I really believe that. The only thing that I can say is I was trustworthy up until the double eviction where you did not use the veto on me. I was very confused why you didn't use the veto on me. It made sense in the grand scheme of things, but I was working with you and Austin the closest in this game. Yeah, Beth and I were close. Yeah, Zach and I were talking, but it was you and Austin this entire game. And you're going to watch back and see that I was talking you up. I had your back 110%. And the second that you did not use the veto on me, it clicked in my head. And then Zach and I had a Skype call that night and everything came out. It really just changed the game. It changed how I perceived you. It changed how, and I had heard that you had been talking about me behind my back, and I had been talking so highly about you behind yours. And so I felt betrayed. And I understand why you don't respect my game, but I respect yours and every move you made and every decision you made. But I was willing to ride it to the end with you, and I did not feel the same. I was loyal, and I apologize if I hurt you in any ways. I was really, really in a bad place, and I didn't mean to guilt trip you or anything. I don't want you to think like I did that, but I appreciate working with you in this game. It was a lot of fun, and I think we worked really well together and really close this entire game.
Okay, thank you. And Zach, so we duked it out all season since the Rachel vote. It was definitely fun going against each other in the game and then in comps. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with the game that you played. You lied, backstabbed, and did whatever you had to do to be sitting where you are right now. So my question for you is, what was your biggest mistake in the game and how did you bounce back from it?
My biggest mistake in this game was telling too much info from what you and Thomas were telling me to Madison, because Madison went back and told you and Thomas everything I was saying, and it came up a little bit sooner than I expected her to do it. So at the final 7, when she talks to you guys and you come up with the idea to target me in the veto and then potentially backdoor me, I realized, shit, I really fucked up here and I could be going home this week because of it. And at that point, I had to backpedal, talk my way out of that decision, and realize, okay, Madison, I told a little bit too much, so now she has to go. And so the mistake of telling her, I immediately just cut it out. So like, as soon as I found out she was saying stuff, bye Madison. Like, as much as I loved her, she had to go at that point. And so that was definitely my biggest mistake of the game. And that's how I recovered from the mistake.
Okay. And so my last question that is for the both of you is, if you had to pick an animal to compare your game to, what would that animal be and why? Caleb, you can start first.
Okay, so I think a really good animal for me would be probably a sloth, Really, because I was slow in this game. I really like throughout this game, I was not on every day. I did not get on call with a lot of people at the beginning. And so I think a sloth would be good because first they're cute and they're dangerous, but they're slow. Really, what else? You know?
I would compare myself to a panda. Pandas, they're cute and cuddly, and you want to look at them, you want to hug them, you want to maybe work with them, you maybe want to tell them secrets too. And they'll just sit there, they'll eat their bamboo full of secrets, and they'll just get it and get fatter and bigger, getting all this information from all sides of the house. But then they'll just like belly flop on you with all that big weight that they just got from all that bamboo, and they'll kill you. And that's kind of how I played. So I think I would be a panda.
Cool. All right. Good luck to you guys both. And yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you, Brian. We are just waiting for Julia to hop on. If she's able to.
She might have just got off work.
I think she's at least watching, so we'll see. Okay, here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Julia. Your time will start now. You're good. You're good. Go.
If you hear some nice elevator music in the background, I am in the bathroom at work. I think this was the most fitting place to do this as I spend most of my time here. Tonight I have 0 questions. I only have some statements. I've always wanted to pull a half Murphy, so I figured this would be my time. If anyone would like to make this a full Murphy, please contact Livingston, send them my way. I prepped for the proposal. So, first off, Caleb. One thing, I think might be your fatal mistake. I would have taken you to the end. Any day, any second. If anyone who knows me, anyone who's seen me play, watched me play with me, I'm a rat, I'm a snake. Pick whatever one you want. That's who I am, I own it. And I would have cut Zach in a heartbeat. It's how I am, it's how I play. So yeah, as I said, I'm a giant snake, I'm a giant rat. It's kind of what I'm known for. It's not very often someone out-rats me, out-snakes me, and I'm not saying outplays. I get outplayed a lot. It happens, it happened before, it'll happen a million times again. But Zach, you out-ratted me, you out-snaked me, and you did it to perfection. Every game I play, I try to take a little something. It's usually like, I need to do this better. Okay, this is the strategy next time I have to play this comp, whatever. The thing I'm taking from this game is you. You are hands down my favorite person I've met in this community. I absolutely adore you more than anything else. And I'm so extremely proud of you for being here. I saw your game from, I'm pretty sure, as close as anyone else. And I know how fucking amazing it was. And I cannot be more proud to be giving you my vote tonight and to see you win this game probably. And you're amazing. I love you. Caleb, I'm not forgetting you as well. Icon, such an amazing person. I'm so glad we kind of connected more as it went down. You're a great person. Keep playing these. You're good. But yeah, Zach, you knew where my vote was the second you won that final HOH. I love you. That's all I gotta say. Julia out.
Love you, dude.
Thank you, Julia. Okay. Beth will be joining shortly. I know the stream's like a minute behind, so here she is. Hello, Beth. Your time starts when you start talking.
Okay, can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. Let me start off by pouring me a glass of wine. But my question is for both of you. I've noticed a lot of some ass kissing to the jury. So I'm going to switch it up and I'm going to have you guys kind of jab at the jurors a little bit. And I want you to explain why you guys survived past a round that they did not survive past, or what their downfall was in their game. So go ahead whenever you guys are ready.
I'll bash the entire jury starting from now. Constance, he told me too much information, and we had never had an alliance or anything, but he was telling me too much about how he wanted Austin gone. And at that moment, I ran back to Austin and completely told him everything that Constance had told to me. So I was kind of a little bit partial for why Constance was on the block. It was already Austin's decision, but he just knew more about what Constance was saying about him because of me. So I didn't want to work with Constance, and I was happy to get him partially onto the block because of that. Austin, I feel, made a really bad decision with his nominations that week and really just made a huge target of himself to the point where I don't think anyone was going to vote for him to win, and I think everyone was targeting him. After that, Madison, she just got outmaneuvered by me in the game. We were both playing a similar rat kind of game, but as soon as I heard that she was talking about me, I ran to the same people she was telling to me, and I said the exact same things about her, but worse, so that they wanted Madison gone over myself. So that's what I did to Madison. Thomas, as much as I love him, he did not play a great game because he told me and Julia that we were going to be nominees for him if he won the Final 5 HOH. So there was no reason for me to want to keep him in that Final 6 scenario. That's why I voted to evict him. And Brian, I feel he was just a bit naive about my game. He did not see everything I was doing. And I had known that I had him in checkmate about two rounds before he knew. He knew when I won the veto and put him on the block, but I knew at the Final 7. So that's where I'd say. And Julia, I can't really say anything because I feel like had she won that veto, I'd be gone and she would have got me. So for the rest of them, I don't really know. And for you, it's the same thing because it just came down to competitions at the end for that end game. And me winning the competition is what got me here. And had it been reversed, I'd be asking you the same question.
Now, really quick, before Caleb gets started, can I ask you a follow-up question, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
So you chose Caleb over me. I respect that. And
Yeah.
you said it was because of a promise, but if that promise was not there, would you have still taken Caleb to the end?
I would have taken Caleb to the end in all scenarios. With you, I really think you would have beat me. Just based off votes. I think Constance would have voted for you. I think Austin might have voted for you. I think Thomas might have voted for you. And Thomas was the swing that I needed. And bringing Caleb in, I know that I probably have Thomas's vote over him. So I really was going to bring Caleb in all scenarios.
Okay. And then Caleb, go ahead and, jab at the jurors.
Period. Time to fight. Okay. So first off, Constance, his downfall was really not keeping his lips tight. He really sunk his own game because he literally told everybody everything. I have the utmost respect for Constance. Austin fucked his game up because he did not talk to me before he made decisions. He just fucked our alliance over. I guess there was a lot that went down behind the scenes behind that it did not make sense that Austin was putting Constance up, but Austin fucked up by flipping. And then Madison, I think she just got caught in the back and forth. I think Thomas saw her as a big threat, and so did Brian. And so Brian, he went out because he was such a big threat. It was really going to be me or him that week, I think. And then Julia, I had to vote her because I didn't think she was going to take me to the final 3 or final 2. And you because Zach is scared to go against a woman. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's not.
I'm not a juror, Caleb.
I know, but Zach is just, I really think you didn't get here because you were such a big threat. And I think you deserve to be sitting here.
Oh my gosh, okay, thanks. And then really quick, Caleb, I have another follow-up question for you. If you did have the choice between me and Zach in the end, I know you said that I should be up here, but would you have preferred me to be up here?
I think I would have had a better chance of beating you. I truly don't think I had a chance of beating anybody in the final 7, actually. So really, it was who I had made earlier promises with. And really, I had a strong bond with Zach. like throughout this entire thing, he was the first person I Skyped with. He was the first person who promised me something. You and I were super, super, super close this game, but it was just not on the level of Zach and I talked almost every day. And it just, I tried to be as loyal as possible, but if I was in the position, I think I would have taken Zach. Even to lose, I really a loyal player.
Okay, so I mean, like, I guess you hate women too, but it's fine.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Boo. But
Michael,
I love you so
really
much.
quick, how much time do I have left? Am I out?
You have a minute and a half.
Cool. Jab at each other. Why do you think the other person does not deserve to win?
Caleb was a background character. I was the main character. Every episode I was in the plot line. Every episode it had something to do with Zach, whether it be who's calling out Zach today, how is Zach escaping the nomination this week, or how did Zach just win an HOH for 5 hours? Huh? Yeah. And whereas Caleb, it's like, oh, there's Caleb sitting over there. So that's why I think I would win over Caleb.
I think Zach smells. I think Zach is a stinky player. What am I supposed to say? He played a great game, but I think, he was such an arrogant douchebag the entire time, right? Like, come on, like, what a douchebag. That's all I can say. Literally, he was great.
Well, great answers from both of you guys. Good luck after all of this. You guys are both so well spoken, and I wish you both the best of luck. You guys both put up a great fight. Zach, 6 hours, still what the fuck. Caleb, I absolutely adore you.
I love you so much, Beth.
Good luck to both of you guys. Thanks for taking a bad bitch out, I guess. But
You're
good
welcome.
luck, guys.
Thank you, Beth.
Bye, Beth.
Okay. Final two. That is all the jurors. Now all that stands between you is the final pleas, the final closing statements, and the vote. So as Zach went second before in the opening statements, Zach will go first this time. Zach, your 2 minutes start when you start talking.
I really do believe I deserve to win this game. I played the stronger game of the two of us. I won 4 competitions in this game. I was nominated 3 times, and in that time, I only got 1 vote received. I talked my way out of very sticky situations. I made alliances with the whole house, and yet I was never targeted for them. My allies were always targeted before myself, and I was always just 1 move ahead the rest of the people in this house. I really do believe that I played this game as hard as I could have. I have zero regrets of how I played, and if I could do it again, I would do it. I would do the same thing again. So I really just do hope that you vote for the better game player here and the player who put their heart and soul into this game. So thank you.
Thank you, Zach. Caleb, your 2 minutes will start when you start talking.
So I think I've already said it all. I came into this game and my game plan was to play as hard as I possibly could with what I had. I came in and I think I did that. I knew exactly who I am and I knew exactly what I could do. And I knew I was not going to win competitions. And so I played socially. I played the best I could and I'm super proud of my game. I was nominated 3 times, I think, which is not that big of a deal because I wasn't nominated until week 9, I think. I know I didn't win anything, but I'm super proud of where I am. And I am so grateful to be sitting here next to Zach. I think I know exactly how this is going to turn out, but I came in, I played hard, I lied to people, but I played a loyal game to the people I needed to be loyal to and let the cards fall as they may.
Thank you, Caleb. Okay, I am going to now let the jurors hop back on here. They were instructed to stay muted. So if you guys could also stay muted for the time being, I'm going to let them all join and then we will do the vote.
No, why?
Okay, I'll give it just another minute. I'm not sure if we'll get anybody else.
You are, I know we said to stay muted, but you're rotted for that, Julia. You're rotted.
Your Zoom picture, Julia. Your Zoom picture. Okay. House guests, it is now time to vote. When I call your name, you may give one brief statement without revealing who you are voting for. You are voting for a winner. So when I call your name, you may go to your production chat and cast your vote. Constance is up first. I will go get his vote as he is not here. Not Julia leaving. Thank you, Constance. Next up is Austin. Let me get his vote. Thank you, Austin. Next is Madison. I will go get her vote. Thank you, Madison. Thomas, you are up.
Once again, congratulations to the two of you. First of all, I just want to point out, I thought I played a great game. Out to Zach. Maybe it was a little bit too honest, but it's a game that I'm definitely proud of, and I made it really far. And yeah, I didn't want to, make promises that I can't keep, like some of y'all. But let me just say that one of you is lucky that I'm not voting very petty tonight. I recognize game when I see it. Yeah, may the best player win.
Thank you, Thomas. Next up is Brian.
Okay, so congrats to both of you again. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to vote for the snake over the goat.
Thank you, Brian. Julia, you are next.
Very proud of both of you. You did amazing things, but y'all know where my ass is voting. Zach, Ped, winner, icon, king, everything, love of my life, period. Goodbye.
Thank you, Julia and Beth.
Also robbed and Tindlerette.
I adore both of you with all of my heart. Truly, actually, I adore everybody in the jury. This is kind of fucking awesome. But in the end, I did want to focus on strictly gameplay, strictly who had the messiest game but had the best comeback of it all. So that's why I voted the way that I voted. But congratulations on both of you guys for making it so far and hating women. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that right now. But thank you. Like, you guys were both awesome. You guys have both insane social games, and it was difficult to vote because I love both of you guys so much, but it did strictly come down to gameplay. But good luck.
Thank you, Beth. Okay, give me just a second. Okay, house guests, I have the votes. These are votes for a winner, obviously. There are 7 votes. You need 4 votes to win. Here we go. Beth has voted for Zach. Julia has voted for Zach. Brian has voted for Zach. Thomas has voted for. Congratulations, Zach. You are the winner of 1984 Lockdown. For the record, Madison has voted for Zach. Austin has voted for Zach. And Constance has voted for Zach. So for the very first time in 1984 history, Zach, you have won unanimously. Congratulations.
All right.
Caleb, congrats to you as well, and Beth, you as well.
Thank you guys. Like, that's crazy. I didn't realize I would be the first unanimous winner. It was an honor playing. I had a really fun time playing this game. Thank you to production and thank you to all the jury. I'm sorry for how I had to play it, but in my shoes, y'all would have done the same exact things. I went from first one out of that circle night competition to all the way here, and I'm just really happy I can be getting this win tonight. And shout out to you too, Caleb.
Okay, congratulations,
Congrats,
Zach. Good job, Caleb. Good job, Beth. This was an amazing season. You guys did great. So we are going to end the stream and then we'll make a new Zoom. I'm going to invite the pre-jury to join us and we will do awards.